The motion's been made and seconded to adopt the agenda as presented. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. I would call your attention to the board norms for just a moment. Help us stay on track. And then we will go to recognitions. If Dr. K is ready.
Trying to get our microphones to not blow us out of the room here. Let's see.
Oh,
Okay.
are they loud?
They were all turned up. So.
Okay, I can't.
Okay, hopefully we should be a little better now. Okay, is that mine? Still not mine. Well, anyway, we have so many people recognized. We're so thrilled with all of our wonderful students. But our first one tonight is Adeline Walker. Adeline is the only student in all the elementary schools that read all 12 of the Mark Twain nominees and passed all the quizzes. So she's the first person to do this at Rebecca Boone. So we have it. Yeah, so all three. Is that all three? All three?
That's
Great.
awesome.
Amazing, amazing accomplishment. So Adeline, come on up, we'll get your picture. And
This way.
Congratulations.
Good job. I'm going to go ahead and turn this to you since you were.
Okay, and our next is Cam and Sam, I think is our
Cam and
so,
Sam.
so we got Cameron Petersmeyer and Samantha Eskew for in the world, not just here in the state, but in the world, top 10 in their DECA International Career Development Conference. And so, if you guys want to come up and get your picture, congratulations to both of you.
Cameron's playing soccer,
Okay.
and I'm not sure where Sammy is, but I don't think we have either one of them, but we're pretty proud of them for even going to the international competition, much less being in the top 10. So I will leave that with you.
That was great. Okay, and our next group is, we'll have all of you come up, we'll get one big picture with everybody, but because there's so many of you, it's fantastic to see so many of our people from our band medal at the state competition. So come on up, we'll get your pictures here. We got Joe Beekner and Grace Kisnell, Owen Thompson, Joseph Spencer, Dane Blattner, Kane Davis, Dorlin Lee, Danielle Perry, Thomas Roman, Avery Shaw, and Rebecca Spencer. Congratulations, guys. A lot of hard work to do that. Congratulations. Way to go, guys. That's really great.
And what's your name? Outdoor Lynn. That's good. There you are. Say hi. Okay, that's everybody we have.
Come up front and hold your guys.
Yeah, come over here.
Well, Frankie's too.
And I'm coming. I'm here. Don't step on me. Dora already stepped on me.
1, 2, 3.
Good job,
Congratulations,
guys.
I don't see Roy here, but we want to recognize Roy Briggs for getting a perfect score on the ACT. Absolutely unbelievable. That I looked this up and it said a quarter of the top of a percent, so 0.25 of all students get this score in the nation, and it's just unbelievable to have a student get a perfect score. We're so proud of him. And
Nathan Nordwald was the last. That's been several years. He graduated several years ago, so that's a big deal. We're proud of Roy too.
yeah, way to go, Roy. So those of you that came for recognition, we welcome you to stay to our whole meeting, but if you'd like to leave, that's fine too, so that's up to you.
Mr. Shaw, can you get the door there?
Now, this is looking about.
That looks about normal. Yeah, there we go. Okay, Lucy, do we have any public comments? Or Officer Stonebarger, do we have any public? Thank you. Okay. So no public comments, so we are gonna call on our gentleman from the architecture firm to talk to us
Thank you very much.
about the package you brought us and what's going on with the new plan, new school plan.
You guys want?
Famous controller.
That's control.
All right. First of all, thank you so much for us being here tonight and giving you an update on the project. We're excited. Mark Ruther is here too, and I'm Matt McDermott, just as a follow-up. So we're going to walk you through site plan, floor plan. We had a meeting with Dr. Klingsmith, your wonderful president, and John Chandler, and we had a couple of the principal, maybe, I can't remember everybody's name, but there was another group. We toured Journey Elementary School. Do I need to turn on the mic or no?
No, you're good, just so everyone, you're all aware, but, you know, as soon as the bond passed that next week, Matt helped us get a tour set up at Journey Elementary School, and we had our food service director, maintenance director, tech director, building principal, system principal, myself, we all walked through it. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, but we had a really great crowd to kind of go through. We looked at the prototype, and there was just a few minor things that we wanted to adjust, like where doors are, and maybe redo the entrance a little bit. So we want to talk with the board a little bit on that, get your take on that, see if there's any other adjustments we want to make before we get moving forward, and get the drawings put together. So I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, so one of those things was a meeting with MoDOT. Let's see, if I point here, I guess you kind of know this. I don't know which way to point for you, but anyway. So we met with MoDOT in here, and they do not, will not require a roundabout, because that was one of our concerns.
Oh, thank
So,
goodness.
so currently, CBB is our traffic consultant through the district, and they have set up their cameras as of May 1st, so they've got all their work out there, starting their traffic study. So that's underway for this proposed intersection here into your new school. Probably take a month or so, we'll get some information, they'll start doing their report, and then we'll follow back up with the district on what they find and where that is headed. Because there was some talk that it may not be needed, but I know on the district side, we want the traffic signal. So we'll get to those conversations. So that's underway out there. You may see some CBB traffic people out there hanging out and doing their thing. So this property line back here to your neighbors, I know John Chandler's working on some fencing bids and some things here to assist your property to the neighbors. It was part of the neighborhood association meeting. So that's underway on the site. That's pretty much it on the site. We're going to jump to, I hope. What I do?
Don't tell me, Lucy.
How'd you do that?
Help, Lucy.
I don't know what to do.
I'm not sure what I did.
You got out of the slideshow somehow.
Hang on. Get back up there.
Help.
That's
go.
what I said, help, Lucy.
All right. The floor plan. So as Dr. Klingsmith said, we toured Journey and a couple minor tweaks to the plan, but they were good improvements for your district. So we're going to start on the back classroom wing here. So this set of restrooms was over here in the yellow portion. So we're like, well, there's a long classroom wing here. If we don't build this alternate, what about the restrooms? So that was suggested. So we took the restrooms from this bay, flipped them over, and put them into the base bid, so those are here. So that's that classroom wing. As we come up the wing, this is your storm shelter and your gymnasium and your stage. So this small room back here, 16, is a separate mechanical room that's required for your storm shelter to operate for a 2-hour storm episode. So we have to have water and electric panels and battery backups in there. Number 6 is PE storage. As you can imagine, athletic folks and gymnasiums pack everything into those storage rooms. well, you're gonna have to do 4 hurdles and all that to get back to the door that was here to get in that room. So John's like, can we go from the main mechanical room through a door here and get into it the other way? So that's one change, not a big deal, we're just flipping some doors around. So that was one improvement. Number 11 here, media center / library. As part of Journey, we had a small storage room in the back, we had a large workroom, and then a large storage room. As they looked at that, Journey's not even using it like that. The storage room just had stuff stuck in it. They weren't even efficiently using it. So the suggestion was, let's combine them here with 17 and open up this whole space right here for the check-in desk and what the librarian might want is a visual with the door being right here. She can have her check-in desk right here, and that opened up some more space and gave her some more wall space for displays and that. So that was another good improvement. And then we're gonna jump over to food service and kitchen areas right here. So here's your multi-purpose cafeteria. This is all food service here. The delivery door is right here, and number 7 you see right there. That used to be 2 offices. Your food service director said, I don't need 2 offices. Let's simplify that, go from 2 to 1. We made it a little bigger so they could potentially get 2 desks in there if they need to. And what that did, her suggestion was to make the freezer section larger than what Journey has. Leave the cooler the way it is, and that's cooler here in the freezer. So we were able to pick up about 6 more feet by reducing that office layout, moving over the freezer section. It gave us some more space. And then the other item we did is this back prep clearance space was about 3 feet too far. So when they were at the front counter, they had to walk back too far to the back counter, so we kind of squeezed that up a little bit. Minor tweaks. And that is it on the floor plan of the 4 areas. Other than that, everything went great. We're ready to roll and do the construction documents. So if there's any clarifications on that, or if you want to get into something more detail, I'm happy to share it with you. But those are the 4 big items on the tour that we took that we're making revisions to.
Matt, I appreciate that you redid the colors on this. You know, there were like 5 different colors on here. Well, now you can see the green is what we're planning
Yes.
to bid, or to bid, yes, and to build hopefully. And then the orange and the yellow are the add-ons that
Yes.
we don't know when we'll do exactly, but he got rid of some of the colors and made it a little bit easier to see what we're
Cleaner,
looking at.
yeah. So
Yes.
that green, as you talked about, so that's a little over 86,000, wait a minute, is that right? 89, yeah, square feet there in the green. So yes, we lost some primary colors. Just
Yeah, it helps though.
Yes.
It makes it a lot clearer.
But then it's all combined into one base bid too, so whenever we go to bid packages, they're
One
bidding
big, large
on
package.
One,
Yes.
yeah, the
Yeah.
one that we're actually going to build.
Yeah.
Right, and man, one other change is the entrance there, we're adding a sliding window.
Oh, you're right, I
As
did,
a-
good call. So, main entrance is right here. At Journey, they do not have a check-in window here, it's just a command door that they leave open. So once they buzz them in from the A phone, they can go right into the office. So one request is they would get into the vestibule and they'd have a check-in window so they don't have to always go into the office. They can check in the window, make a delivery and leave versus actually going into the office. So that is right here. So, good reminder, Greg, I forgot about that. Okay. Next slide, here's just kind of an update of where we're at on our schedule, overall schedule that we're working on. So the yellow are mainly for our in-house team, our design consultants. We give progress set check dates so that we stay on schedule with our target to issue for bid. So we require our consultants to send us check sets, we send them our updated sets. It's just coordination and it keeps the project moving. So you'll see the 25, 50, 75, 90, and then 100% for bid date. But back to the top is still going to check in on planning and zoning. We have a couple things we'll talk about a little later. We'll show you some pictures of some options. But then the geotechnical and the borings and the survey, those are all completed. So we just filled that in as completed. And then planning and zoning, if we need to do anything with the county council, we're just putting that to TBD. We'll get you an update on that. But as we come down into here, so 100% issue date for bid documents and permit sets, we're targeting August the 12th. Or your bids would come in September 19th. Board meeting, October, oh, I got something messed up there. Hold on. Here, Board of Education meeting, October the 3rd. We would award the project, right here. So issue it, take bids September 19th, and then we come to you with a recommendation and discussion on October the 3rd. So that we can start construction by November and get you finished in 2 years on our construction schedule, okay?
Yeah, so it'll be our board meeting, but that'll be when we'll need that board packet, public for everyone. Yeah. Board meeting will be 10th or 12th or something.
Yeah. So that's our schedule, just an update on that. Okay, I'm going to show you 4 options on colors that you can take a look at. You have a handout there, so you can also dive into it a little bit more. This one has what you call a patina green roof, which is the fake aged copper, I'll call it, of a copper roof when it ages, and it has the buff brick with some dark brick accents on it. The next one is going to a sandstone colored roof and keeping that natural look of the buff brick and some dark accents. The third one is the one that you have on display with the blue roof. It looks purple, but it's supposed to be blue, with red brick and then some light colored accents of the concrete block. And then this one goes complete opposite with a green, hunter green roof with a, it's not really a red brick, it's more of a rust colored brick, I'll call it, and then some accent dark brown brick. And then on the last sheet, I just put all 4 of them on the same sheet so you can see them all together. So at some point, we would like a direction on this so we can go to the city and start the planning and zoning process. I really don't want to show the city something that you're really against. So you can,
I don't think we need to make a decision tonight on that.
Tonight,
Yeah,
right,
we're okay
right.
with that, but maybe the work session, kind of think about it.
Yeah, I mean, the work session in a couple of weeks, we can spend a little time talking it over, and you guys
Right.
can think about it in the meantime, too.
Matt,
And Kim, I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
could we switch something, like if we decided we liked the roof that's blue, we like that building, but we want to put the green on it or something, like,
Brick
can we
color.
switch?
the brick color?
Yeah,
Yes,
we
absolutely. You
do
can,
that, right? I
Yeah.
mean, you've got 2 that look the same brick-wise
Up here,
or
yeah.
exterior-wise, and then 2 that are different. And if we wanted a green roof or a tan roof on the red brick one. we could
Absolutely.
decide to, right?
whatever,
Okay,
we
I'm
can,
just
we
making
can
sure.
mix and match.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I thought. I just
Yep.
want to make sure that we had that choice when we talk about it later. So
Just kind of stir the pot and got you thinking.
everybody think about that in the meantime.
So Matt, are there schools we could go look at that have all those different, I know Journey's the blue.
Journey is the blue. This is Duello.
Yep.
Oh,
This is Stone Creek. And this is Prairie View.
so those are all built that
Those
way
are all
somewhere?
built. Yes.
Okay.
And if I need to get some more pictures, I'm happy to do that too. So Prairie View is Garden Prairie on Hanley Road and Feisey Road. Journey is on Interstate Drive. Duello obviously is on Duello Road by
Prospect.
Prospect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Really going back my years here.
That's where my grandkids go there.
Yeah, okay. All right. And then Stone Creek is on Highway Z at Stone Meadows.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's another one that. A lot of their last, they've got 3 or 4 that have the blue roof on now with the Winslow blue. So any clarifications, questions, anything else on the update?
It says that you've already submitted it to the planning and zoning officer in town or not?
I have not.
Okay.
I want to make sure we're on board with whatever color scheme we present to them, because a lot of times when the city gets it, it goes to all these departments. I don't want to put something out there if you're not comfortable with it. And we have time to do that. That's
So
pretty
it's a
much
big
it.
decision for the board, because this will probably be here 100 years, so No pressure.
I'll take that responsibility.
And if we wanted to make it our own, do you have like, images of color samples that?
Yes.
You know, if you don't mind sending that our way?
Yeah.
Just work with me, don't.
Yeah, the metal roof, we've got samples, we can show you all the different varieties. Sure. And brick, and,
Yeah, if there's particular colors, we can get you metal samples. If there's brick, we can get you some samples of brick. So by all means, making that your own. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. You have lots of options.
Any other questions for Matt? We appreciate you gentlemen coming out and giving us all this good information.
You're very welcome. We're happy to be here, we're happy
Thank you for moving us
to
to the
assist as
front.
we need. Yes.
Really appreciate it.
We were trying to be nice.
Well, we appreciate it.
Okay.
We do. Thank you so
All right,
much.
Thank you.
gentlemen.
Yeah, have a good night.
You
Thank
too.
you. Good to see everybody.
Okay, Greg, we're ready for a finance update.
Okay.
Oh, was I supposed to get it?
Oh, you're good. Thank you. Good. Thanks.
All right, just our normal report here. So this is kind of where we are in the year. So operating revenues year to date is behind last year, mainly we still have not gotten our early childhood special education payment. We do fully expect to get that payment. It's been accepted by the state, just haven't processed the payment yet. So it's just a cash flow. It'll be here next month for sure. Started to accept it and everything. So, and also last year we finished about 7% ahead of where so we ended up with 107%. So our budget was a little off last year. So that kind of looks why that looks the way it does. Expenses are pretty close to where they were last year in the budget. Fund balance is up compared to last year. So things are in fine shape. Now we are seeing our fund balance, get closer to last year, mainly because we're missing that $1.2 million payment that we received this time already. So that will probably end up just slightly ahead. We'll probably end up about where we did last year, maybe a little better. I anticipate us, once the dust settles and everything, being about 39–40% fund balance at the end of the year. If I had to guess, that'd be where I think we'll end up, which is a good place to be, so that's fine. So revenues right now, local is up. We had received more tax dollars, Prop C. County money is a little bit up. State is behind, about that $1 million that we're short from the early childhood payment. And then the federal is of course down because we're not receiving the COVID money. And so overall, we're down in revenue compared to last year by about $1 million at this time. April, we are doing kind of what we expected to do on our expenses. So we're up in salaries and benefits. We did get raises. Purchase services are down a little bit, and supplies are up slightly. So overall, though, we spent a little more than $1 million more this year than we did last year. So that's kind of where things are in April. And our capital projects were at 1.8, almost 1.9 million in that account. That's finances today.
All right, thank you. Next is the consent agenda. Does anyone have any questions or anything about the consent agenda? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve it.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Thank you, Sarah. Jeff? Motion's been made and seconded to approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. And it passes. So now we go all the way down to old business. And these are our policies that we've been looking at since last month.
So we have really two groups here. We have the MSBA recommendations that deal with marijuana, and then we have our JGR, student discipline, that's recommended by the discipline committee. And really the only kind of questionable thing I have from this with the student drug testing screening, their recommendation is to have students, if they have a medical marijuana card and they test positive, they would still receive penalties, or it's not necessarily discipline, but they'd be suspended from playing if they test positive, even had a medical marijuana card. That's different than what our current policies are. Our current policies state that if they have a medical marijuana card, that does not count against them. So that's a little bit different. We can go whatever direction the board wants to go. And at this time, we don't believe we have any students that have a medical marijuana card. I'm not aware of any. So there might be one or two, but I'm not aware of any students with medical marijuana cards.
So, to my knowledge, do you have to be 18 in order to have a medical marijuana card?
So doctors can give it to kids younger if they want to. That's really their call. My understanding, I'm not an expert in this area though, but.
I mean, Dr. Google says there's no minimum age for medical marijuana in Missouri.
Dr. Google.
I just Googled.
This is our,
That's gotta be true.
this research.
Yeah, but it also
That's what my librarian
says
says.
you can get a medical card in Missouri as an adult or a minor. But this is quickmedcards.com, so I'm all over. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
They have to, it looks like they have to submit. I'm now looking at health.gov.
There you go.
There's an application.
Came up. Yeah. I don't know, how's everybody feel about that?
I think when I, really loud. When I first read through it, for all three people, they can't hear me. When I first read it, I actually was, I would say, glad to see MSBA taking a little bit more of a firm stand. Typically, personal opinion, I sometimes feel like maybe they go the route of a little bit easier, and don't take a firm stand. So I was glad to see such a firm stand on some of these things. As far as, I mean, their recommendations to me are as close to zero tolerance as what I think could be, probably from a legal perspective, and I actually like that. So, my personal opinion, I would be in favor of just adopting as presented versus
Excluding or
amending.
amending something.
I'm in favor of a zero tolerance policy, a medical card or not.
I agree with Jeff.
I as well.
Can you, I think there's some grammar that needs to be fixed on the JFCI policy on page 4.
All right, wait, give me a second here and I'll get there.
Which one is it? JFCI?
Okay.
It's the first one under the GBs. That
Got it. What needs to change there?
On page 4, in bullet number 3, it says otherwise intentionally interfere or attempt to interfere in any way with, and it says TE, which probably should be the integrity of.
Oh,
and
I see it, yep.
And I'm not sure TEE is what you want there either.
Right. The integrity of the sample collection. I got you.
I'm pretty proud that you read through it that closely.
Nice
Yeah.
red, nice red pen.
Yeah.
That was a good catch.
I don't know that I, got any- my brain scanned everything else.
Okay. I
I
mean,
got
yeah, I scanned it, but I don't know about, I didn't catch anything like
I
that.
have no idea.
Who's kicking stuff apart over there? Is that Rich?
Yeah.
Rich is being instructed.
Perfect.
I just want to ask a question about the student athletes and well, who all do we test besides athletes?
Right, so anybody with a student athlete or anybody that parks in the parking lot. So that's to be admission sponsored event, sport is what we
Oh,
classify.
admissions.
Right,
Right.
so.
Okay. And then second of all, I'm assuming well, that we're relying on MSBA's attorneys as far as the legality of it. Because the only concern I have, I'm not pro using the marijuana. My concern is, are we penalizing somebody for a medication? Because if someone was taking Ritalin for ADHD or something like that, and they tested for it as athletic, we would not punish them, would we, or do
No,
we?
we would not. No. If they-
That's my only
Right.
concern about it.
And even MSBA says that there's debate about that.
Oh,
Right.
debate about it?
So we're not really sure.
About this policy.
Yes.
Yes.
And that same idea. And we can't, just to give everybody the history of student drug testing, about, I guess about 12 years ago, maybe? Or
Maybe a little longer.
maybe longer than that.
Yeah.
We put this in place because there's concern for drug use at the high school, and we want to give kids an opportunity to say no to drugs. And so they say, hey, if I'm in sports, I'm in random drug testing, I don't want to participate in the drug use, and gives kids an out to not use drugs. And, I think it has helped us in that regard, for those students that want to do that. And we cannot test just any kid we want, that's an illegal search, but we can test kids for that are involved in extracurricular activities. And so this is outside the curriculum, and anybody that's participating in those things can be tested. So that's why you can't test everyone.
Are they
It's just-
still randomly selected?
They're still
or-
randomly
okay.
selected, yes. So, but Ginger, to your point, that is how the board landed last time, was that if it was issued by a doctor, then it'd be the medicine.
Right, and I'm not saying what's right or wrong, because I don't know, but it would seem like we're treading on parental controls when, if a parent is gonna sign off for their underage child to use medical marijuana, I just don't wanna step on parents' toes. Whether we agree with the parent's decision or not, it's still a medical decision by the parent. But we probably can still do school stuff, even within that.
Yeah, marijuana's not allowed in school here.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought, I think we're still okay.
Right.
I'm just thinking of parents say.
I have a question on KGAP1.
Can you speak up? I have a hard time hearing.
I'm sorry, KGAP1.
There's a fan right behind you too.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. It is page 2, section 25. They struck out tobacco products for the use, possession, or sale. Did that land on a different policy, or?
Is there an issue with redundancy, is what she's wondering, if tobacco products are on their own policy, if that why it's been removed, or are we actually removing this?
I don't have a good answer for that. I would assume that they're just removing it. We can keep that as amended if we wanted to say no tobacco products. That to me would be cleaner.
Yeah, I'd like for there to be no sale.
Yes.
Tobacco
It's
products.
in this policy, and they also struck it in the KKAP1 as well. They both got rid of the tobacco products.
Good catch, I missed.
Yeah, thank you for catching that, Carol.
Like, maybe don't sell tobacco products at our school.
Yeah, let's not.
So let's keep that in there.
What was the second one that you said it?
It is in KK
AP1.
AP1
And then-
and KG AP1.
There it is. I found it.
Community use.
Yeah.
Are those like the same policies?
I think one's for students and one's for community use. I think.
They both say
Are they both community use?
community use. Oh, I think the KKAP1 is linked to the KGAP1.
Are we ever wrong looking at?
Yeah.
Well, we can make sure those are matching those, updated.
Well, I'd like to be able to read it.
Yep, so we can not vote on that, do that another time.
Okay.
Okay, so you're gonna pull
Pull.
those and amend them? Or-
Well, we can do the ones we can see, but the one we can't see, which is KGAP1, is that
KKAP1.
KKAP1, we can't see.
Yeah, it's on there, isn't it?
Well,
No.
it got links to
The
KG.
linked one is KG.
Oh,
Yes, we
okay.
So like
said
when you
there.
look at the header, it tells you it's KG.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
That's in the wrong one linked. That's my fault. Okay, so we will fix that. We'll pull KKAP1 for next month. And then fix KGAP1 as amended, so we can vote on that one.
Is everybody okay with that amendment? We didn't actually vote on it, but I think everybody's okay, aren't you? With
To not
leaving-
strike tobacco products.
Yes, leaving the words tobacco products in there.
And then also Deanna's on JFCI, just spelling here.
Okay,
Do we, I can make a motion
yeah,
to amend it.
go ahead and do that,
I
please.
make a motion to amend K, do you want to, no, I'm doing it already, so. KGAP1, to not strike tobacco products. That's my motion. To make an
Yeah, but that's
amendment.
not all of them, right?
But that's the one that we are voting on tonight, because the other one we're setting aside because we can't see it.
But also the one that Deanna.
And Deanna's,
Deanna's.
Oh, and Deanna's, and then the other amendment for,
It's the first one under the G's.
yeah, JFCI, T
Yeah,
to.
JFCI, to not have the word TEE
And then
add the instead of the word T. Those are my amendments for those two things. That's my motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
Thank you, Jeff. All those in favor of the amendments, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? I thought we were good on that, but it doesn't hurt to go ahead and actually vote. Okay, then. I would entertain a motion to approve all the policies as, including the amendments, I mean, we've amended it, approve all the policies as they stand now, or if someone wants to pull something and vote on it separately, or pull something and not approve it,
Well,
that's,
we are pulling one, right?
well,
KKAP1.
that one until Greg fixes it.
Yeah.
But the remaining policies as they stand now, or like Greg was talking about, you know,
I'll make a motion.
okay,
I move to approve the policies as presented.
as they stand now, right?
After the
After the amendment. Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right. Is there any further discussion? Motion's been made and seconded to approve these policies with the exception of the one that Greg's pulling, as they stand now with the amendments. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. And the policies are passed. And then we have a budget amendment.
So if Lucy wouldn't mind pulling that up, this is just kind of cleaning up the year a little bit, and what we'll build next year's budget off of, essentially. Right now, the total budget's at the bottom there, you can see the total revenue, total expenses, total revenue, and this is the full budget, all funds combined. So we're at 43,700,000, and then the expenses is almost 43,600,000, so it's about $100,000 about $100,000 surplus of what we had before. If I'm looking at that right. Those numbers don't sound right in my head, but I think that's right. Okay, so now on the operations side, we are showing a little bit of a deficit on that, mainly because, one, we haven't taken into account all of our unfilled positions, all of our dock days. That stuff is still fully budgeted for those positions. So that'll give us some money back on the expense side. So that has not been adjusted for at this point, mainly because it's just, we're not exactly sure where it's gonna land. So we're just waiting, and it'll all work out at the end once the school year's over. We'll just run the report will show us, but right now it's gonna show us a little bit, spending a little bit more than we actually will. And then also the revenue locally just hasn't come in like we thought it was going to. So I don't know if collections are down a little bit. We thought we'd pick up some of that money through delinquent taxes, and that just really didn't materialize. So unless something happens in the next 2 months, which I'm not really anticipating that, I imagine that local revenue is down about $400,000 from what we estimated it to be. So that's why we're not seeing, but I do think we're going to end up the budget about where we projected we would end up. We might be off 100 or 200,000, but I think we'll be within 1% of what we originally in our budget in July. So we're very close to where we thought we would be. So this is really just cleaning up the year. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
I'm looking for a couple of things I have questions about. I'm sorry, I should have printed it and highlighted it, I guess, because this is so long. But there were some things where we were really over budget. Some of it was like sports travel or something. And I just wondered, how does that get okay when it's over budget a lot?
Sure, and sometimes when teams are going to district or state or things like that, you don't necessarily expect that, so they go a little bit more. But at the same time, kids have to get where they want to go, so we approved the deficit spend, knowing that we just have to spend it.
Okay.
But then we adjust the budget
Right.
to get it caught up.
I wish I
But it looks
could-
like we should, the sporting events was up, so.
Yes,
I didn't expect
football
that.
was
That's a little bit.
football was up a
Yeah,
lot.
that's true.
Right,
I noticed that too.
right. Yeah, revenue for sports were higher than projected.
Did we just not send as many kids to Four Rivers as we budgeted for?
Right, so we
Because
over budgeted that one.
Okay.
Right, and so just not as many kids went.
That was another one I had noticed. Oh, it's like OT and PT, contracted services, we were way under.
Yeah, that's something that we really undershot for
Yeah.
sure, was the sped contracts. And that's due to IEP decisions and outside placements and that sort of thing.
And I know you can't
Right.
foresee all of that,
Right.
but it's just, there was a lot there.
Sure, and so we've
That
been meeting to
was
try to have a
way
better,
over budget.
better number on that.
Visually impaired, and there's a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, sped was a big number.
Yeah.
That's one that really jumped out on the purchase services side. I noted there. And bus repairs too were much higher than we
Yes.
anticipated. So there's a few things there that just kind of, you gotta do them. And,
Right,
so,
I understand
yeah.
that, I just,
yeah. But it'll give us a good idea for this upcoming year to hopefully dial that in a little better.
almost transportation too, that was another
Yeah,
one,
almost
but
was
that's
up.
not something we can really figure too closely ahead of time, I guess.
And even like it cost for Infinite Campus, we had a general idea of what we were gonna
Right.
spend on it, but
Right.
didn't know for sure.
What's the, so WHS graduation expense, we had 0 in the budget, and then it was 15,000,
What exactly was that? No, we bought chairs before. I'd have to look that up, Frank. I've forgotten exactly what
but
that
it's
is.
something we didn't anticipate apparently.
Right,
and then-
right. Or, yeah. It could have been that maybe we moved money to that account. I think we might have moved money to that account to have a graduation budget, for, just things they needed for graduation.
Okay. Just stuff that jumped out at me as I was
Sure.
looking through it. Oh, here's like high school athletic supplies, we had budgeted 15,000 and we spent over 28,000.
Sure, and some of,
Almost double.
yeah, and some of that was being reimbursed back too from fundraising events and things.
Okay. Yeah. Seems like, I just have one other one, that high school athletic transportation was only budgeted for 5,000, and that doesn't seem like enough, and we spent 80,000.
Yeah, probably hadn't missed a zero.
Yeah, I would say so, because that
Just
was way off.
Yeah, we started tracking it differently too, from what we had previously.
Okay.
So, before it was coming out of all transportation funds, and so we're now trying to track it closer to what each building is spending. And so
Okay.
there's some difference in just accounting there.
Okay.
Yeah, so some of that stuff.
And we didn't budget enough for gas, but once again,
Yeah, I thought we were gonna be good there, because we really increased that number, and it just hasn't panned out. And some of that is timing too, so like when we fill up in July, or not fill up in June, or, so that, we only fill up about every other month, so it's, and they're big bills.
okay, well, I just wanted to throw some of that out there so you could explain, I
Yeah.
get that there's a lot of it we can't always plan perfectly for, but,
Yeah, we want to be better though, I mean, there's,
Right.
So I'm looking at the budget revision, all revenues, so there's so much that just says zero. So does that mean that there's just no change to it, or that
Yeah.
there's nothing?
no change,
No change?
yeah, or there's nothing in that account. for-
yeah, there's a lot that are just zero.
Well, there's like most of them are zero, and I mean,
Right, so like activity accounts, for example, we don't necessarily manage, that's their own account, we
Okay.
have an account here for that.
and is there any oversight on that? And not that the board has to have, like, but is there
Yes,
anyone?
yeah, we oversee that, but that's not technically in our budget, but we have an account, we see that money in and out. But that's, let's say, somebody's, let's say drama, for example, wants to raise funds,
Right.
they have an account for that, and that's their money that they would raise funds for that. And it stays there, so it's their activity
Yeah,
account, but
so
not,
then- but also we're just like unaware if they have a lot of money or not.
no, we do, that account is in there, it's just not, there's just not a budget number for it.
Okay.
It doesn't go into our budget.
Yeah, I think the reason why I'm asking,
Right.
what's going through my mind is that there's times in which we went up stipends, or we went, not stipends, but we went up supplies, we went up, and
Right.
if we have no knowledge that they have this multiple $1,000 fundraising thing that they have a huge account, then,
Yeah, like we know it's in that account, like Wise, for example, has a big account that's
Sure.
in school accounts that we track.
I'm more thinking of the activities and sports and stuff, like, there's times in which we're like, oh, they're asking for more supplies, and so then we as a board start funding it, but if we have no concept of the fact that actually they have thousands, because they've done 7 fundraisers this year.
But we can always ask and we
Yeah.
can get
Yeah.
that.
Absolutely, it's
information
just
from-
not a budgeted item that we budget for.
Yes,
It's
yeah,
their
no, I'm just
act-
asking,
right.
if we're seeing zeros and stuff.
There's also the summary of that under bank and
Yeah,
consent
it's
agenda.
in there.
In the
Great.
bank records.
You can look at that and see if
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
stands
you're
out.
right.
If you go through everything,
Yeah.
it takes forever, but,
Sure.
I try to do it.
Right. But because we don't budget for it, we don't have a budget revision for it,
Great.
so we just let them
Zeros.
manage their accounts, and then this
I
is
think I'm asking
ours.
because it's on there, it's on the budget
Sure,
revision, but
sure.
yeah, we're not doing it.
Yeah, I just export everything.
Yeah, okay.
You know. So I want to be accused of hiding anything.
No.
So everything just gets exported.
Okay, Jeff, you want to make a motion?
Move to approve budget amendment as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll say it.
All right, thanks, Deanna. The motion's been made and seconded to approve the budget revision as presented. Are there any other questions, comments? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay, and it passes. And then we have concrete and asphalt repair bids.
Yep, these are our bids. We have a low bid to help us repair some concrete and asphalt around the district this summer. And so that is Mid-Rivers Asphalt.
And that's at all the buildings or all the
Yeah,
buildings
just different
that
places
need-
around, yeah.
Okay.
I move to approve Mid-River Asphalt for the concrete and asphalt.
I'll second it. The motion's been made and seconded to approve the low bid of Mid-River Asphalt for the concrete and asphalt repairs this summer. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Policy first reads.
Yep, we just have some AI policies. In general, you know, if you do anything mean with AI, you're gonna get in trouble for that. So they're very vague policies really, but it is a starting point for us in this new world. And then we have some recommendations on our end to add things to line up with our negotiated agreement, like adding maternity leave to the leave policies.
With the AI policy, will we have to add a position for an AI coordinator?
No, that would be our director of technology, is who we put on that.
We don't act on those till next month, but does anybody have any other questions about any of that?
Just on the AP, we did name director of technology. Yeah.
Okay. If there's nothing else on that, I think we will move to miscellaneous, and the first thing is celebrations.
I'll go first.
Good, thanks, Rich.
Tonight was baseball senior night, and I had an opportunity to stop by there on the way to the meeting. That was kind of cool to see a big crowd there, and I think it was the third time that they had tried to get this senior night in, and they were playing Chaminade, and they were winning early, and I haven't got an update on it. But just hats off to Coach Birdie and his coaching staff. They've won 20 games for the first time in program history. I think they went undefeated in conference and won the conference for the first time in a while. So just congratulations to the boys and the coaching staff. They've done a great job and had a good season.
Anybody else?
I have to say that this week is Teacher Appreciation Week, and it is just, anytime I'm able to witness them in action is remarkable, and not just witnessing them in action, but coming into contact with them, whether it's in the community, in the stores, at events. I'm just really proud of our teachers, and I'm always excited to introduce them to someone and talk with them and explain who they are and what they do. And so I really do appreciate our teachers. I know this week also had Nurse Appreciation Day, and I, particularly as a parent, I'm so grateful that the nurse reached out to me when there's something that she needs to put me in on. And I just appreciate, when you're sending your kids to school, you're trusting people with your kids. And so the fact that I can trust my teachers and trust the nurse to care for my child, I know I'm not the only parent that feels that way. I'm very grateful.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of neat too. This week you see a lot of people posting their own statistics about being teachers and stuff like that. And it's so cool to see how many teachers in other districts that were raised here in our district. And I know we have 3 in my granddaughter's schools alone. We have 3 of our graduates that teach there, and they're fantastic. It's just neat that we have great teachers here that produce other teachers, and the tree goes on. So really cool stuff.
I got to help make the gifts for teacher appreciation for the Daniel Boone staff that they will get tomorrow.
Spoiler alert.
So, yeah, I'm not saying what it is. But I'm friends with the Daniel Boone PTO president, and she always asks my opinion about whether I think teachers would like this or not, and I think they'll like it, so.
I got to volunteer at a lunch period at one of the schools for teacher appreciation, giving them a nice lunch break and just getting to see the kids and the good relationships that they've built with our lunch ladies and just their self-discipline and their regulating and asking politely. It was awesome.
Ginger and I got to help with a great handshake contest. We had no idea what we were getting into at the middle school.
You're like, we got
but
2.
It was really cool. They had the finalists from each of the houses, so there were just 4 kids, and we just had to interview one of them, and it was fun to see them come in and introduce themselves and shake hands appropriately and answer some questions and just be so grown up, and, you know, we had fun with that. Ginger was really hoping we didn't have to shake hands with every kid in middle school.
I didn't know what I was getting into.
That'll take a while.
Yeah. All right, if we don't have anything else there, we will talk about workshop topics.
We did have a wonderful fundraiser for the red and white.
Oh, we didn't even talk about red and white.
Yeah, that happened a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Feels like a few weeks ago. It probably wasn't. It was just, what, a week and a half ago?
I don't
A
know.
long time ago.
I've lost
But
track
our
of that.
community continued to comes out in droves and supports our
Right.
students, and the Wise Foundation was able to hand out so many scholarships, and you guys had a very robust scholarship night.
Yeah,
as
honors
well.
night at the high
Yeah.
school was really good. I went and presented the little scholarship from the board, the Belcher Scholarship, but our community is amazing in how much local money is given, and then our kids are amazing because they got tons and tons of scholarships that are not local, state and national things and stuff from their chosen schools that they're going to, and it was a great night, so I appreciated being part of that. Thanks, I forgot. Okay, workshop topics, Greg.
Yep, just some things, board goals, probably need to knock those out. We do need to have a meeting this upcoming end of the month. And then kind of discuss our academic dashboard options. I know it's been one of our board goals for a while. Feel like we had a breakthrough this week, but then we ran into a roadblock today, so anyway, hopefully we'll have some options for us next week to get that squared away. We will have a few contracts and bids, and I know we'll have some personnel that we'll need to do in closed session as well. So the other thing there is maybe picking a color for the schools. I think we'll be ready for that.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
we ought to discuss that, see if
Okay.
we can make a decision so that they can move forward with planning and zoning and stuff. Because I understand showing them a photo of what it's actually gonna look like is different than showing them a random color scheme and stuff, so.
And I'd encourage you to drive by those schools. So if you need addresses, I can help you find them and just get a look at them. It'll be very similar.
And that's the 23rd at 5 o'clock we're gonna start, right?
If that works for everybody.
Does that work for everybody?
I'll be able to attend, oh, goodness gracious, I'll be able to attend a good portion of it, but my son's graduating kindergarten that day, so I will
I'll be
just
there
be
for
here for a portion of it.
What time is the kindergarten
6,
graduation?
in town, but,
Yeah.
Move
Okay.
quickly then.
oh, you and I trust you guys, I'll contribute as much as I can.
All right, I would entertain a motion to set the next regular board meeting.
I make a motion to set the next open Board of Education meeting to be on June 13th, 2024.
I'll second.
A motion's been made and seconded to set the next open Board of Education meeting, June 13, 2024. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That meeting's set, and now let's do closed session.
I make a motion for closed session to meet the June 13th, 2024 Board of Education.
I'll second.
Thank you, Deanna. Motion's been made and seconded to set the next closed session to immediately precede the June 13 Board of Education meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Mr. Barton. I was gonna call on you before you could say it, but I didn't. Motion's been made. How about a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Jeff. Motion's been made, seconded to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everybody. That was quick.
Yeah, good.